Ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying this. You've just done something that many would have said was impossible. You've taken the road less traveled, the one that was narrow and steep, the path that few dare to walk. But you walked it. And here you are, standing on the other side of what others would have called a dream, an illusion, a fairy tale. It wasn't easy, was it? There were days when you wanted to give up. Days when the weight of the world felt too heavy. When the voices in your head told you that you were not enough, that you were wasting your time. But you didn't listen. You kept moving forward. You didn't stop when it got hard. You pushed through. You adapted, persevered. You understood that the real value lies not in the goal, but in the journey. And you took that journey with relentless determination. The impossible is only a story we tell ourselves. It's a lie dressed in fear, doubt, and uncertainty. What makes something impossible is our belief that it cannot be done. But the moment you decide to take a step, just one small action, you've already defeated the impossible. And that is exactly what you've done. You've understood something fundamental, that the limits we face are not imposed by the world, but by the limits we place on ourselves. You learn to stretch those limits. You learn that growth doesn't come from comfort, but from challenge. You learn to welcome discomfort as a sign of progress, not as a signal to retreat. Now, I want you to reflect for a moment. Think back to when you started this journey. What did you tell yourself? What fears did you have? What doubts haunted your every step? Those doubts now seem so small in comparison to the strength you've shown. And this is just the beginning. The impossible you've conquered was only the first chapter in your story. The story of greatness, the story of someone who faced adversity head-on, refused to settle, and created a life others would only dream of. The journey to success, especially when it involves overcoming seemingly impossible challenges, is never smooth. In fact, it's often riddled with moments of self-doubt and fear. These are natural feelings that everyone experiences when faced with difficult tasks, yet they can be paralyzing if you let them dictate your actions. Fear tells you that you are not enough, that you'll fail, that others are better, smarter, or more capable. Self-doubt convinces you that your dreams are too big, that you're not equipped for what lies ahead. But here's the truth. Those feelings, while powerful, are not facts. They are simply responses to the unknown, to the discomfort of trying something new. When you begin something big, something that seems impossible, the inner critic will rise. It will tell you that it's too hard, that you're not prepared, or that you're late. The fear of failure can stop you before you even start. But if you listen to those voices, if you accept those doubts as truth, you will never take the first step. And that's the most dangerous thing you can do, let the fear of failure stop you before you even begin. What you have to understand is that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It's a sign that you're on the verge of growth, that you're moving towards something important. Instead of being a warning, fear is an invitation to take action, to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you think. The key to overcoming fear and doubt is action. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you immediately start to break the hold that fear has over you. Action has a way of shifting the narrative from I can't to I'm trying. And each step you take builds momentum, pushing those doubts further into the background. As you begin to see progress, even if it's just small improvements, at first your confidence starts to grow. You begin to see that the impossible is not some distant, unattainable goal. It is a series of small victories, one after another, that compound over time. This process isn't always linear. There will be setbacks, and there will be moments when you question whether it's all worth it. But it's important to realize that failure is not the end, it's simply a part of the journey. Every successful person has faced failure at some point, but they didn't let it stop them. They used it as a learning experience, an opportunity to adjust their approach and try again with greater wisdom. Failure is only a problem if you let it define you. If you let it convince you that you cannot do something, then it becomes a barrier. But if you treat failure as feedback, you begin to see it as a necessary part of success. Failure doesn't mean you're not capable, it means you're trying and learning. The real danger lies in letting fear and doubt hold you back, and giving into the narrative that the impossible is beyond your reach. The truth is that the most successful people are often those who have experienced the greatest fears, yet continue to act despite them. They didn't wait for the fear to go away before they started. They acted in spite of it. And in doing so, they broke through the barriers that others saw as insurmountable. When you face fear and doubt head on, you create a new story for yourself. You rewrite the script from I can't to I cannot because it's easy, but because you refuse to let the fear win. The more you push through fear, the more you begin to realize that the impossible is just a figment of the imagination. It's a mental construct built on the assumption that success requires something more than what you already have. The reality is that the tools for success lie within you, waiting to be tapped into. They've always been there. It's simply a matter of overcoming the internal resistance and stepping into your potential. So as you face the impossible, remember this: the fear and doubt are part of the process. They don't define your capabilities. What defines you is your decision to act despite those fears, to keep moving forward even when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory. And those victories will add up, turning the impossible into something very real and very achievable. The most important thing you can do when facing fear and doubt is to refuse to let them control you. Take action, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward, and you will discover that the impossible was never as impossible as it seemed. Success is not about avoiding challenges, but about embracing and overcoming them. In fact, challenges are the very foundation of growth and achievement. It's easy to believe that success means a smooth, obstacle-free path. But the reality is far different. If success came without challenges, there would be no growth, no learning, and no satisfaction in the journey. It is through facing and conquering obstacles that we grow stronger, smarter, and more capable. When you encounter a challenge, whether it's a personal struggle, a professional setback, or an external obstacle that seems insurmountable, it can feel overwhelming. The immediate reaction is often to resist it, to wish it away, or to feel defeated by it. However, those who succeed are the ones who choose not to let these challenges define their journey. Instead, they see them as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. They understand that the road to success is paved with difficulties, but also with opportunities to test their resilience and refine their skills. One of the most important things to realize is that challenges don't happen by chance. They are part of the process of success. They are not a sign that you're on the wrong path, but rather a confirmation that you're headed in the right direction. Challenges appear when you are stretching yourself, when you are pushing beyond what is comfortable, when you are attempting to do something great. These obstacles are a reflection of the fact that you are trying to achieve something bigger than what you've done before. They are not roadblocks, but rather invitations to grow. The way you approach these challenges is everything. It's not about avoiding discomfort, but about how you respond to it. In the face of adversity, many people give up because they see the challenge as a sign of failure. But those who persevere understand that the challenge itself is an essential part of the journey. In fact, overcoming a challenge gives you a deeper understanding of your own strengths, and it equips you with the wisdom you need to handle future challenges with more ease and confidence. The more challenges you face, the more you learn how to deal with adversity, how to adapt, and how to come out the other side even stronger. However, this doesn't mean that challenges are easy or that you should just accept them passively. Conquering challenges requires effort, determination, and a willingness to push through moments of discomfort. This is where persistence becomes vital. You will likely encounter moments when you want to quit, when the obstacles seem too large or too frequent. It's in those moments that you must make a conscious decision to keep moving forward. The most successful people are not those who never face difficulties. They are the ones who decide to keep moving forward despite them. Sometimes the obstacle may require you to learn new skills, to adjust your approach, or even to change your mindset. Perhaps you need to take a step back and reevaluate your strategy, or maybe you have to dig deep into your reserves of resilience to keep going. Regardless of the specific challenge, success demands a willingness to adapt and improve. Growth is never linear. It is through overcoming challenges that we become more resourceful, more creative, and more determined. This is the essence of true success, learning to embrace challenges rather than running from them. Success is not a destination, it's a continuous process of facing obstacles, learning from them, and growing stronger. In fact, every challenge you face is an opportunity to refine your character and capabilities. Whether the obstacle is internal, such as self-doubt or fear, or external, such as a financial setback or a difficult project, every challenge teaches you something valuable. The more you face, the more you expand your ability to handle the next one and next and the next. There's also an important lesson in the mindset you choose to adopt when facing challenges. You can choose to see obstacles as unfair burdens, or you can choose to see them as valuable lessons and opportunities for growth. It is your perspective that determines your ability to handle these challenges. When you choose to see challenges as opportunities, they no longer feel like roadblocks. Instead, they become chances to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. And each challenge you conquer builds your confidence, reinforcing the idea that you can face even bigger hurdles in the future. Ultimately, success is built on a foundation of challenges. It's through these obstacles that you discover your true potential, that you push beyond your comfort zone, and that you grow into the person you need to be in order to achieve greatness. Without challenges, there is no growth. Without challenges, there is no success. So instead of avoiding them, embrace them, welcome the discomfort, learn from each struggle, and know that every challenge brings you one step closer to your ultimate goal. The idea of the impossible is often one of the greatest barriers we face in achieving our goals. It's a mental block, an imaginary line drawn in our minds that tells us something cannot be done. The impossible is not an inherent truth about the world. It is a story we tell ourselves based on our fears, limitations, and past experiences. We see an obstacle, and we immediately convince ourselves that it's too big, too challenging, or too far out of reach. We make assumptions about what is possible based on what we've seen before, what we've been taught, or what we've failed at in the past. But the truth is that the impossible is often just an illusion, something that hasn't been accomplished yet, not something that can never be done. When you think something is impossible, what you're really confronting is the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, and the fear of stepping into the unknown. These fears often hold us back more than any external obstacle. They make us hesitate, doubt ourselves, and ultimately abandon our pursuit of something greater. However, the moment you challenge the concept of impossible, you begin to shift your mindset. What if the impossible was simply something that hadn't been done yet, or something that others believed couldn't be done because they hadn't found a way? This shift in perspective is what allows you to take the first step into uncharted territory. Think about the many breakthroughs in human history. Every significant achievement that we now take for granted, whether it's space travel, technological advancements, or medical discoveries, was once considered impossible. People looked at these challenges and said, it can't be done. Yet those who succeeded saw the problem differently. They didn't accept the impossibility. Instead, they explored new ways of thinking. They innovated and they persisted. What once seemed impossible became possible because someone decided to challenge the very notion of it. And that's how many of the great achievements throughout history came to be, by questioning the limits imposed by the conventional thinking of the time. This is a crucial lesson. When faced with something that seems impossible, the most powerful tool you have is your mindset. The key to overcoming the impossible is to refuse to accept it as a permanent condition. Instead of looking at a challenge and saying, I can't, or this is impossible, ask yourself, how can I make this work? Or what can I learn to overcome this? When you start asking the right questions, you open up new possibilities. Every impossible situation holds the potential for creative solutions and innovative thinking. The impossible becomes possible when you approach it with curiosity, adaptability, and a willingness to explore uncharted territory. Additionally, there is a fundamental truth about human nature. People are capable of far more than they often believe. We often underestimate our own potential because we are limited by the boundaries of our own experience. We might look at someone who has achieved something extraordinary and think they must be special, they must have something I don't. But the truth is, those people are not fundamentally different from you. What they have is often a combination of persistence, resourcefulness, and the belief that they can overcome what seems impossible. They have learned to trust in their ability to figure things out, to learn from their mistakes, and to keep going when others would have quit. One of the most powerful things you can do when faced with an impossible task is to shift your focus from the magnitude of the challenge to the process of achieving it. Instead of looking at the mountain and thinking, I'll never climb that, break the task down into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on what you can do now and trust that each small action will eventually lead to a larger result. The impossible becomes more achievable when you stop trying to solve everything at once and instead focus on making consistent progress, no matter how small. Another important factor in overcoming the impossible is persistence. Success rarely happens overnight, and overcoming great challenges takes time. The road to achieving what others deem impossible is long and often filled with setbacks, but it's the willingness to keep going in the face of difficulty that determines whether the impossible will become possible. Those who succeed are often those who don't give up after the first or second or even third failure. They understand that each failure is part of the journey, and each attempt brings them one step closer to a breakthrough. The key is to stay committed to the process and not be discouraged by temporary setbacks. So when faced with the impossible, remember that it's only impossible until someone believes it's possible. By changing your perspective, breaking down challenges into smaller steps, being persistent and believing in your own potential, you can turn what once seemed impossible into something that is well within your reach. The impossible is simply something that hasn't been achieved yet. But with the right mindset, there's nothing stopping you from making it possible. True growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zones and face challenges head on. It's easy to remain in familiar territory where everything feels predictable and safe. But this is not where transformation happens. Growth is not about staying in a place where things are comfortable and easy. It happens when we push beyond our limitations, stretch ourselves, and confront the difficulties that arise when we take on new challenges. In fact, the discomfort we feel in these moments is often a sign that we are on the right path, because growth always happens in the space between where we are and where we want to be. When we find ourselves in difficult situations or trying to achieve something that requires more than what we've done before, it can feel overwhelming. Our instinct is often to back away to avoid the discomfort and to seek refuge in what is familiar. But it's important to realize that the discomfort is not the enemy, it is the catalyst for change. Without discomfort, there is no expansion. It's through overcoming the uncomfortable situations, the moments of fear, frustration, and uncertainty, that we build the strength and resilience needed to accomplish something extraordinary. When we choose to face discomfort instead of avoiding it, we become more adaptable and resourceful. Every time we overcome a difficult situation, we learn new skills, develop new strengths, and gain new insights into our abilities. We begin to realize that we are capable of handling more than we initially thought. This shift in mindset is powerful because it transforms our perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles to avoid, we start to see them as opportunities for growth. Each challenge becomes a chance to expand our capabilities, test our limits, and become better equipped for future challenges. This doesn't mean that growth comes easily or that every challenge will feel good in the moment. In fact, many of the most significant growth moments in life are uncomfortable, even painful. But the discomfort is temporary, while the benefits of growth are lasting. The discomfort of learning something new, struggling with a setback, or facing an uncertain future is what pushes us to evolve. It forces us to dig deeper, think more creatively, and tap into reserves of determination that we didn't know we had. The idea of comfort often holds us back from realizing our true potential. When we settle for the status quo, we limit our growth. Staying within our comfort zones can feel safe and easy, but it's also where progress stalls. True growth requires discomfort, and it often requires risk. When we step into the unknown, we open ourselves up to learning and new experiences. We might not know the outcome at first, but that's where the magic happens, because without stepping into the unknown, we never discover what we are truly capable of. The discomfort we experience when pushing ourselves beyond our limits is also a signal of progress. It's a sign that we are evolving, that we are becoming better versions of ourselves. If everything were easy, there would be no incentive to change, to grow, or to strive for something better. Every time we challenge ourselves, we push through the discomfort and come out stronger, more skilled, and more confident in our ability to handle future challenges. The more we embrace the discomfort of growth, the more we become comfortable with change itself. This doesn't mean that growth is linear or without setbacks. In fact, growth often requires failure, rejection, and moments of doubt. These are all part of the process of expanding ourselves. What sets successful individuals apart is their ability to keep going despite the discomfort. Instead of retreating to comfort, they embrace the challenge, knowing that the discomfort they feel is a natural part of the process of becoming more than they were yesterday. Each setback is not a reason to quit. It's simply an opportunity to learn, adjust, and try again with new wisdom. It's important to remember that growth isn't a one-time event or something that happens overnight. It's a continual process that requires ongoing effort and a commitment to stepping into discomfort. Every challenge you face, every uncomfortable moment you endure is helping you become the person you need to be in order to achieve your goals. The more you expose yourself to new experiences, the more you will grow in confidence, resilience, and capability. So if you find yourself in a situation that feels uncomfortable or challenging, don't back away from it. Embrace it. Understand that the discomfort is a sign that you are growing, that you are moving closer to your potential. It's through facing discomfort that you learn your true capabilities. Growth happens when you choose to step outside your comfort zone, when you push past the fear, the doubt, and the uncertainty and keep moving forward. In those moments, you will discover that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. The discomfort will eventually fade, and you'll be left with new skills, greater resilience, and a stronger belief in your ability to handle whatever comes next. Growth is never easy, but it's always worth it. The notion of self-limits is one of the most pervasive and damaging barriers to success. We often convince ourselves that there are certain things we simply cannot do. Whether it's a fear of failure, a lack of confidence, or a belief that we are not capable of achieving something, these self-imposed limits can be incredibly restrictive. What we often fail to realize is that these limits are not inherent to us. They are constructs of our making, shaped by our past stations, societal expectations, and the narratives we've internalized over time. The reality is that the true limitations we face are often the ones we place upon ourselves. The first step in breaking through these self-limits is recognizing them for what they are, mental barriers. These limits may feel real, especially when they stem from deep-rooted beliefs or past failures, but they are not absolute. They are shaped by the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. For example, if you've tried and failed at something in the past, it's easy to believe that you are incapable of succeeding in that area. This belief, rooted in past experiences, can convince you that you'll never be able to improve or achieve the goal, even though failure is an essential part of growth. In truth, failure doesn't define your capabilities. It only reflects where you are in the process. The more you try, the more you learn, and the closer you get to success. Another form of self-limit is the fear of judgment from others. Society often tells us what is acceptable, what is normal, and what is possible, creating a set of standards and expectations that can be stifling. These societal pressures can reinforce the idea that there is a certain way to be or a certain path to follow, leading us to doubt our abilities or feel unworthy of pursuing something outside of the norm. Yet the most successful individuals often succeed precisely because they don't adhere to these predefined limits. They see beyond the conventional definitions of success and create their own path. They understand that the only true limits are the ones they impose on themselves, and they refuse to let those limits dictate what they can achieve. When we start to recognize and question these self-limits, we can begin the process of breaking free from them. The key to doing this is cultivating a mindset of possibility rather than limitation. Instead of focusing on what you think you can't do, focus on what you can do. Instead of thinking about why something is too difficult or too far beyond your reach, ask yourself how you can make it happen. This shift in thinking allows you to see opportunities instead of obstacles. When you stop limiting yourself based on past experiences or societal norms, you open up a world of possibilities. You start to believe that anything is achievable. Not because it's easy, but because you are willing to push past the boundaries you've set for yourself. The journey to breaking through self-limits is not always easy. It requires persistent self-belief and a willingness to challenge your own assumptions about what is possible. But the more you practice this mindset, the more you begin to realize that your true potential is far greater than what you initially believed. Each time you step beyond your comfort zone and take on a challenge, you begin to shatter the limits you once placed on yourself. You begin to see that you are capable of handling much more than you thought, that you have the strength, creativity, and resilience to overcome challenges that once seemed insurmountable. The process of expanding your limits also requires a level of self-compassion. It's important to recognize that you don't have to be perfect, that it's okay to fail, and that you don't need to have all the answers right away. Self-limits are often tied to a fear of not being good enough or not meeting certain expectations. But overcoming this fear is part of the journey. By allowing yourself to be imperfect, to learn from mistakes, and to grow with each experience, you release the pressure of perfectionism and free yourself from the constraints of self-imposed limits. There's also a power in surrounding yourself with others who encourage you to expand your limits. The people you spend time with can influence your beliefs and your mindset. If you are constantly surrounded by those who see limits as barriers that can't be crossed, it becomes much harder to break free from your own self-limits. However, when you surround yourself with people who challenge you, support you, and believe in your potential, it becomes easier to believe in yourself. Their encouragement helps you push through self-doubt and see beyond the limits you've created. They remind you that there are no boundaries to what you can achieve except the ones you choose to accept. One of the most powerful ways to break free from self-limits is through action. The more you act, the more you reinforce the belief that you are capable of doing more. Each small step you take toward your goal chips away at the limits you've set for yourself. Action builds momentum and confidence, and as you take on more challenges, you begin to see that you are not defined by your past experiences or the limits you once believed in. You are defined by your willingness to take risks, learn, and grow. Ultimately, the key to breaking through self-limits is to remember that you are in control of your own potential. The limits you perceive are only as powerful as you allow them to be. By shifting your mindset, embracing challenges, and taking consistent action, you can break free from the constraints of self-doubt and fear and unlock the limitless possibilities within you. There is no achievement too great and no dream too distant. Your only limit is the one you place on yourself. Success is not a solitary journey. It's often said that no one achieves greatness alone, and this is a powerful truth that applies to every aspect of life. While individual effort is crucial, there is an undeniable power in collaboration, in surrounding yourself with people who share your vision, who challenge you and who support you along the way. The relationships you build with others can be one of the greatest factors in your ability to succeed. In fact, the right people in your life can elevate you to heights you could never reach on your own. One of the primary ways that relationships contribute to success is through the power of shared knowledge. Every individual brings a unique set of experiences, skills, and perspectives to the table. When you open yourself up to the ideas and experiences of others, you gain insights that you might not have considered on your own. Collaboration allows you to learn faster, solve problems more efficiently, and avoid the pitfalls that others may have already encountered. You don't have to reinvent the wheel or make every mistake on your own. The wisdom of others can shorten your learning curve and help you navigate challenges more effectively. However, successful collaboration doesn't just happen on its own. It requires you to be open to feedback and willing to listen to others. Often the people who help us grow are the ones who challenge us, who point out our blind spots, or who suggest different approaches to the problems we face. These moments of constructive criticism can be uncomfortable, but they are invaluable for personal and professional development. Embracing the input of others allows you to refine your ideas, improve your strategies, and ultimately achieve better outcomes. Success isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about being open to continuous improvement and being willing to learn from others. Another way that relationships fuel success is through the emotional support they provide. Pursuing ambitious goals can be a lonely, demanding, and sometimes overwhelming experience. There will be moments of self-doubt, discouragement, and setbacks. During these times, having a network of people who believe in you, who encourage you, and who provide comfort can make all the difference. The emotional resilience you gain from your relationships can keep you going when things get tough. The people who support you during your darkest moments are the ones who remind you of your strengths, who help you rediscover your purpose, and who motivate you to keep pushing forward. But emotional support isn't just about getting through the tough times, also about celebrating successes and sharing the joys of achievement. The right people in your life are not only there to support you through the lows, but to celebrate with you during the highs. Achieving something great becomes even more meaningful when you have others to share it with. The relationships you build along the way help to create a sense of community and shared purpose, which enriches the journey and makes the success feel more fulfilling. Of course, it's not just about the people who are closest to you. Networking and broad community of like-minded individuals can also contribute significantly to your success. Networking isn't just about gaining access to opportunities or resources, it's about connecting with others who share similar values and goals. When you surround yourself with a diverse group of people who are driven and passionate about their own pursuits, you create an environment that fosters growth and mutual support. These relationships can open doors to new opportunities, partnerships, and collaborations that you may not have been able to access on your own. Equally important is the ability to give back and offer support to others. Success is not just about taking, it's also about giving. Helping others along the way, offering your knowledge, and sharing your resources creates a cycle of positivity and growth. When you contribute to the success of others, you also contribute to your own success. The law of reciprocity is powerful. When you help others, they are often more inclined to help you in return. Building a network of supportive relationships is not just about what you can gain, but also about what you can give. The more you invest in others' success, the more you build trust, loyalty, and goodwill, all of which will ultimately come back to you. The people you surround yourself with also influence your mindset. The energy and attitude of those around you can either elevate or drain you. If you spend time with people who are negative, complacent, or unsupportive, their attitudes can have a toxic impact on your own mindset and progress. Conversely, when you spend time with people who are positive, ambitious, and growth-oriented, their energy can inspire you to reach higher and strive harder. The right relationships help you cultivate the mindset necessary for success, one of optimism, determination, and resilience. In addition, your relationships play a key role in holding you accountable. Success often requires discipline, consistency, and focus, and having people around you who keep you on track can make a huge difference. Accountability partners, mentors, and close friends can help you stay committed to your goals, remind you of your purpose, and help you stay motivated when distractions arise. These relationships keep you focused and encourage you to stay disciplined, even when you face obstacles. At the end of the day, success is a collective effort. It's not about achieving greatness in isolation. It's about connecting with the right people, learning from them, supporting them, and growing together. Success is about creating a network of relationships that empower you to reach your full potential. Whether it's through shared knowledge, emotional support, collaboration, or accountability, the people you surround yourself with have an immense impact on your journey. Embrace the power of relationships and recognize that true success is a shared experience. The journey to success is rarely a straight line. It is full of ups and downs, challenges, triumphs, moments of doubt, and flashes of clarity. Throughout this journey, perseverance is one of the most important qualities you can cultivate. Perseverance is the unwavering commitment to continue moving forward, even when progress seems slow or obstacles seem insurmountable. It is the ability to stay the course when the road gets tough, when failures arise, and when success feels distant. This resilience is often the defining factor between those who achieve their goals and those who give up along the way. One of the first aspects of perseverance is understanding that setbacks and failures are not the end of the road, they are simply part of the process. Many people quit when they encounter failure thinking it is a sign that they are not capable, that their dreams are unattainable. But true perseverance involves seeing failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, rather than as a reason to quit. Each failure teaches you something valuable, whether it's a lesson about your approach, your mindset, or the steps you need to take next. Instead of viewing setbacks as signs of defeat, persevere by using them as stepping stones to greater success. Another key component of perseverance is having a long-term vision. Success is rarely achieved overnight, and it often takes longer than we anticipate. The ability to maintain focus on the bigger picture, even when daily progress seems slow or non-existent, is essential for persevering. When you have a clear sense of your ultimate goal and purpose, it becomes easier to stay motivated and keep moving forward, even when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. The journey to success is not about instant gratification, it's about consistent effort over time. Perseverance is fueled by a deep commitment to the long-term vision, even when immediate results are not visible. Building resilience through perseverance also requires mental toughness. The ability to push through moments of frustration, exhaustion, and self-doubt is what separates those who give up from those who succeed. Mental toughness is developed by facing challenges head-on and refusing to be defeated by them. It's about maintaining a positive mindset even when external circumstances try to drag you down. When things get tough, those with perseverance remind themselves that adversity is a natural part of the process. They know that their ability to overcome difficulties will ultimately make them stronger and more capable. An important aspect of perseverance is maintaining self-belief. It's easy to lose faith in yourself when faced with repeated setbacks, especially when others around you may be skeptical or critical. However, those who persevere believe in their abilities even when external circumstances suggest otherwise. They trust that their efforts will eventually pay off even if the results are not immediate. This self-belief is reinforced by the understanding that success is not about being perfect or avoiding failure, but about being consistent, resilient, and willing to keep going no matter what. Perseverance also requires patience. In our fast-paced world, we are often conditioned to expect quick results and immediate feedback. However, the most significant achievements in life require time and consistent effort. Whether you're building a business, mastering a skill, or working towards a personal goal, progress often comes in small increments. There may be days or weeks where you feel like you're not moving forward at all, but true perseverance is rooted in the understanding that even small steps bring you closer to your goal. Patience helps you stay grounded and focused on a long-term journey rather than becoming discouraged by short-term obstacles. In addition, perseverance can be sustained through passion and intrinsic motivation. When you are passionate about what you're working toward, it becomes easier to push through challenges. Passion gives you the drive and energy to keep going when the external rewards are not immediately apparent. Intrinsic motivation, or the internal satisfaction derived from working toward your goals, provides the fuel you need to persevere. When you love what you do and are deeply invested in the outcome, you're more likely to continue working tirelessly even when external rewards are slow to come. Perseverance is also a habit. Like any skill, the more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. The more you face challenges and push through them, the more confident you become in your ability to persevere in the future. This habit of perseverance can be built by consistently setting small, achievable goals that gradually lead to larger accomplishments. With each goal you achieve, you reinforce your belief in your ability to keep going, even when the going gets tough. Ultimately, perseverance is the key to turning your dreams into reality. It's what allows you to overcome obstacles, bounce back from failure, and keep striving toward your goals, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. Success isn't about avoiding difficulties or taking the easy route. It's about having the grit and determination to keep going when things get hard. With perseverance, no challenge is insurmountable. It is the driving force behind every great achievement and the foundation upon which you can build your success. When you commit to persevering, there is no limit to what you can accomplish. In conclusion, the journey to achieving what might seem impossible is built on a foundation of mindset, persistence, and the power of overcoming obstacles. It begins with recognizing that you are capable of more than you think, that the limits you place on yourself are often illusions, and that growth happens when you embrace discomfort and challenge. True success is not about avoiding failure, but about learning from it and pushing forward despite setbacks. It's about understanding that the path to greatness is rarely linear and requires a willingness to adapt, to keep going even when things are tough, and to lean on the support of those who encourage and challenge you. In this pursuit, relationships and collaboration become essential as they provide not only knowledge and resources, but also emotional resilience. The right people in your life can help you navigate through doubts and difficulties, and they can inspire you to push beyond your limits. But above all, perseverance is the key that unlocks your potential. It is the drive to keep moving forward, to learn from failures, and to never lose sight of your long-term vision. The impossible becomes possible not by wishing for it, but by doing the hard work, embracing challenges, and continuing to grow and adapt along the way. Success doesn't happen in isolation or by luck. It is earned through determination, continuous effort, and the belief that with perseverance, anything is achievable. So as you stand on the cusp of your own dreams, remember that you have already won the impossible. The key is to keep moving, keep growing, and never stop believing in your ability to accomplish what others may deem unachievable.